So where have you been?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, sorry ain't gonna cut it, understand?
Look, I
You've
feel
been
sorry
gone for the
for you,
longest time. I've been worried sick. I won't stand for this. I will not stand for it, alright? No, don't argue with me, alright? I'm the one waiting here for the next video, and you wouldn't...
Okay, you put
this is what you make me do, okay? No, I'm not putting it down, alright?
You
need to listen to me. No, you stand back. You...
So what are we reviewing?
Yeah, so this is a game about killing zombies, killing vampires, killing skeletons, killing fat zombies, killing dogs, and also... This is the coolest mechanic ever invented! You play as the one, the only, the Lord of Life itself. Oh, no!
What?
That meme is shit.
I know buts, alright?
Jesus Christ, you crack fucking slap. What was that for?
You don't use
slap me like it was
yesterday memes. They are gay.
Fuck. Don't say fuck. And it is your job to... Honestly, I don't know what this guy's occupation is exactly. I think he's supposed to be the entire police department or something. I don't know. It's a fucking cool occupation, I can tell you that. So basically how it works is you're given a building to visit, and it's down to you, and you alone, to clear that place out using only your wits and the resources around you.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Cool. Took you out. I'm so cool. Take that, yeah. I'm so fucking donkey right now.
Except, you won't do that well.
Whoa, stop. Quit dying. No, come on. Let me win this one. Oh, fuck. Piece of shit. Gay. Oh, so it's kind of like, hell yeah, man, motherfucking cool ass game. I love this game. This is so motherfucking badass. This is the town.
Yeah, quite a bit in fact. But there are just a few differences, alright? Just a few. First off, enemies take more shots than you do. Unless you shoot them in the head.
What?
Yeah, now you clubs don't know what to think, do ya? At first I thought it was a bit unfair that you die in one hit while all the enemies you're put up against could withstand a varying degree of damage. However, this is where accuracy comes into play. Headshots are important if not mandatory since every enemy variant is most vulnerable in this part of the body.
Well, who would have guessed?
But even then, not just any weapon you pick up will behave the same way nor deal the same amount of damage. So weaker guns such as the standard 9mm ain't gonna take down a fat man in one shot.
Try me, bitch.
Take a sawed-off shotty, however, and you'll be cooking with gas.
Use is dead. Use is dead. Use is... Fuck.
And that's the thing about this game. The guns, the sounds, the sense of impact, the feedback even. It's incredible how this game feels to play. If this game had a feeling, it would be...
Hello.
I feel like a professionally trained SWAT team, and I don't even have a Scooby clue on what the heck I'm doing. So what's the story here? I don't even fucking know. As far as I'm aware, you are Death. You work for some kind of boss who you communicate with through a fireplace. At one point I had this feeling like they were trying to kill you or something, but now I'm not so sure despite the circumstances. But the plot does consist of this pattern, very much like Hotline Miami, where you're told what you're gonna do, you do it, go home, do it again. Although unfortunately, I couldn't say this plot was really intriguing enough to keep me reading through all the game's scripture and dialogue, and there was quite a bit of it too.
Wake up, cold water, docks again, splinters in my hand. Where am I? Roland's here. It's nighttime, but it's always nighttime here. The moon never shines anymore. No one of the night crawlers knocks on my door. He's on a menu. My husband is but excited, makes me fucking floor.
This stuff is easily skipped, however, so it doesn't damp down the actual game by any means. Just whiz through all the stuff, and the next thing you know, you'll be back in action, baby! I want to talk about the actual gameplay again, because I don't think I'm doing it enough justice. I'll start with the stealth in here, because it's a pretty big part of the mechanics. Lights are important. Switch them off when you can, because most enemies can't see very well without them. Also, get to know your weapons. It's good to know how different weapons behave and how to utilize them effectively. You may be able to cap a basic zombie man with a handgun or a knife to the face, but go up against a vampire or skeleton with tools like this and you're gonna have a hard time. Piece of sh**. Some guns are weak as twigs, while others are capable of shooting through walls, like my personal favorite hand cannon, the Revenant.
Now I could solve this puzzle the academic version way, or I could just pull out my fucking magnum and solve it the simple Chad's way.
Who says you need college to progress in the world? I need a life. And this brings me to one little situation I'd suggest keeping an eye on. This twat! Okay, well, it's not really his fault. This is the guy who sells you the equipment throughout the game. The problem is, if you want everything in his stash, you're gonna have to complete the game to 100%, which involves unlocking every achievement in the game, and beat the entire game within 1 hour without quitting. Beat the entire game without dying or quitting. Get a 5-star rating on all missions. I can't do that! Basically, finishing the campaign alone ain't gonna reward you with enough currency to afford everything on sale. So I'd recommend purchasing only the weapons you're most interested in, no matter what they cost. But don't get any of these, because they're already scattered throughout almost every level. Enemies are important to learn as well, because their differences lie on more than just health. Zombie men, like I've probably mentioned one too many times already, are as default as they come. They hang about, they shoot at you from a distance, stuff like that. Then you got your more complex figures, like your headless Uzi men, whose heads are placed elsewhere in the room for that extra bit of challenge. Your bartenders, whose souls are linked to bottles of booze, so they can't properly die until you smash those first. There's Batman, who can see in the dark, skeleton men, who can hide themselves until they've been disturbed, big heavy guys who take a lot of damage to go down. There's all kinds of characters which send the combat variety through the roof. I love it! Bloomin' love it! Now, of course, I gotta dive into criticisms here, but luckily there aren't a lot of them. First off, accuracy is a bit wonky. How it's supposed to work is bullets are meant to pass through anywhere within this circle. The problem is this gets pretty inconsistent at times. You could have your target zeroed in on someone's face with a smaller diameter than the target itself, and you could still miss. It's not bad when the cursor is just a dot, but just keep an eye on it, alright? Second thing, this one ain't really a big deal, but I'm going to point it out. There's no controller support on the Steam version of the game. Now, I know it sounds petty, but honestly, I wouldn't even bring this up if the game wasn't ported onto the Nintendo Switch. Don't get me wrong, I found it incredibly easy to play with the mouse and keyboard. I didn't even need to rebind any keys or nothing, but I like to put my feet up at least every once in a while while playing my computer games. And knowing that it could have been done here is a letdown. A bit of a bummer, you know? But with all that said, it's nothing to worry about really. It doesn't hurt the game to any great extent. If anything, these are just nitpicks. So, what about replay value? This is a factor I hold quite highly when it comes to my computer games, but in terms of content, there's a decent bit here. We've got 25 levels and each one of them takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete on a normal playthrough, which ain't much, you know. But once you beat the campaign, you unlock hard mode, which extends the game to about twice the length, and maybe longer. That'd make about... What? Well, that's it then. You beat it. You can't have any more, alright? There's no more game to play. It's over. That's it. You've reached the end of the game, you can play the same. So I took a look at the game's workshop, and there is indeed a good amount of player-created levels in here. A lot of them are pretty well crafted too. They also seem a lot harder than the main game, which I dig. I really dig. There aren't quite as many as other titles like this game, but it's up in the hundreds. They're still being made slowly to this very day, and it will provide hours and hours of gameplay if that's what you're going for. I love this game, and I'm super glad I was asked to cover it. Here's the game's price on Steam, and I can't recommend it enough. Shooting heads has never felt this rewarding before, and if you're into games like... then it's a wicked way to go. I'm giving this game a... Say cheese! Oh!